Time to rank more servants from Fate Grand Order. You know how this goes. I think I'll be doing another 50, just as usual. Not sure if I could do 100, but we'll figure that out later. Alright, first off, we got Sakata Kintoki. You know, I'm just gonna give this boy a B. He's a really cool guy. Also for the fact that he loves kids, and he was embarrassed by females wearing exotic clothing, like the cherry boy he is. Honestly, when I see him like that, I just call him Golden Cherry. I'm sure that Kintoki doesn't mind about that. Like, hey, cherry boy, don't call me cherry boy. Okay, golden cherry. Okay, that's fine. You're okay with that? That kind of thing. Overall, not seeing much of his character. I think there's like a singularity that is featured mainly by him, but we'll see. You know what? I'm changing it to an A, since he has a very cool design. Vlad the Third is going to be a C. I would put him in a D, but his uncle role for Elizabeth and that he has a talent for knitting is a bit wholesome, so I'll just give him that. But there's like not much character in him. He was just there in the first singularity. Not that impactful to me. Design is alright, but I wouldn't say amazing. Nobody even cares about him. Asterios is a very wholesome boy. Very sweet. Like he's one of those friendly giants. Speaks a few words, but he has a heart. He deserves a B. Despite having a horrible design, I don't know. It just doesn't look that good. But personality wise is good. Caligula also speaks a few words. He has that sanity once, but that's just it. Nothing else. D. Darius the Third. Oh boy, we're going down the list of berserkers, aren't we? I mean, he's alright. Design looks pretty interesting, and his noble phantasm that summons a giant elephant and his skeletal armies. But they did him dirty. Instead of a giant elephant, they made a PNG of the elephant and just slides right across as his noble phantasm. The most laziest noble phantasm I have ever seen. And all he does is groan. D. Kiyohime with yandere tendencies and one of the bedroom trios, who is a dragon or maybe a snake? I don't know. Could be either or. I also found the trait that she's a child servant. Does she take the appearance to be a 15-year-old girl? Does that count as a child servant? I don't know. Overall, her personality, yeah, she cooks. Has like lower top yandere tendencies, but a bit more tamed. But I guess she's just relevant to other event stories, so, but not much. Usually calling Masters Anshin-sama as her deluded love partner. She's alright. See. Eric Bloodaxe. Again, most of the berserkers that just grunts all the time. Also don't know much about this guy. D. Tamamo Cat is going to be a B tier. I don't know, I kind of find Tamamo Cat something wholesome in her. And she also cooks in Chaldea Kitchen that we get to see her lighthearted interaction with the others. So yeah. But when I did the interlude, my views changed and she turned out to be cute. Also her verbal line saying wolf, even though that she's a cat. Some sort of contradictory, but I don't pay much attention to that. Oh, we're finally out of the berserker line. I don't know why their numbers are ordered like that. Would they be lacking variety? I don't know. Alright, next we got Jeanne d'Arc, who is the OG ruler. Is gonna get an A tier. I mean, in my general opinion, I think she's a sweet girl in the FGO. And I also find that what she likes is sleeping on a haystack, which I find that very cute. I know a lot of people get high praises for Jeanne d'Arc, and I kind of see that, in that she sees the fault in her own matters, but still sticks to her principles. And she's pretty hot too. There you go. Orion. Or you might as well call it Artemis, since she's doing all the work. And Orion being the teddy bear sitting on her head, just giving her a morale boost. Like, good luck out there. I don't know why the design of Artemis looking like a pregnant woman. It just looks so off. I don't like it. From her sprite art, she looks so slim compared to her character design. Why can't you design it like that? Instead of putting that weird bulge on her stomach. I don't get it. I mean, sure, there was no bulge on that third ascension, but that doesn't make it any better. But yeah, obsession with her darling, even though Orion is just like a mess of pervert around and wants to be away from her shooting range. But I mean, that's just pretty much it. Nothing interesting. At least he cares about her. See. But I'll give props to the designer that made Orion's thick butt, as people would say. Props to you, I guess. Elizabeth Bathory Halloween isn't much. Just the same Elizabeth that wears a generic Halloween costume. Do I like the style? Not Not really. See, Tamamo no Mai has an interesting character. Like, she gives off the atmosphere of being as a devoted wife, and you would take it that she's like the most purest maiden. But when you look deep into it, she really had it rough from her past life, to which she never thinks too much about it. But overall, I really like her character. I think her being as a devoted wife and would take care of your needs, I really like it. I'll give her an A. Also, she has a really talented voice actress. It reveals a lot of expression from her character. David is like a boring random NPC guy. Nothing much about him. Also for the fact that I seen him hitting on a woman, having like several wives or so in that one interlude. It's like, C. Hector is going to be a B. He's like a chill uncle that you could just have no problem hanging out with and just like talk about casual things. Also throwing rocks at Achilles. I like Frances Drake. I think her design is interesting. Yes, her design is interesting. It's not just about those boobs, okay? She has white tights, a red coat, and a hat that looks like a skull or something. I think I'm gonna give her a B. She's an alright woman. There's not much depth in her character from Okeanos, which was kinda underwhelming. And Bonnie and Mary Reed are alright. The concept of having paired servants are kinda interesting. I mean, at least that both of them are into you. Their dialogues are a bit simplistic, to be honest. I'll give them a B. Medea's alright, not that appealing, to be honest. But I can't get over that Ascension design. At her second stage, they just put a single detail on her clothing. That is the most laziest design I have ever seen through Ascension. So lazy. She's just the younger version of Medea, just pure and innocent, and also her obsession with Jason is kind of funny, to be honest. I'll give her a B. I think Okita Soji is going to be an S tier. She's really adorable. I kind of imagine that her role in Guda Guda is something of a Skolmi play, because she usually banters with Oda Nobunaga, just roasting her, having shitty stats and all. But honestly, I never paid attention to that. I just really love her character a lot, and some nice thighs too. Nobu is going to be a B tier. I personally think her design needs some work. I mean, looking at it is so weird. But I won't blame Paco Sensei if this is like part of his initial phase. But she has a very comedic personality. I really love her humor a lot, especially her banter with Okita. It just creates the atmosphere of lightheartedness for the fact that she's just self-imposing into her own things and just goes through it. Skatahan is gonna be an S tier. Out of all the FGO servants, she is my personal favorite, my wife. I'm not gonna let anybody judge me for that. I think it was an MMV I watched. When I first laid my eyes upon her, I really admit that she's attractive. She is my first ever 5-star servant. It was like a miracle to me, and I was damn grateful for it. Got her twice in a single 10-pull. I'll never forget that moment. I don't care if people say that she has a boring personality and whatnot, but you know what? That's fine with me. I can just have her all to myself. You can go love your own waifus, while I can go love mine. But I'm sure that there are other Skatahan lovers out there. I salute you. Dear whatever the fuck you say that. Design not that interesting. Personality, devoted knight, has some sort of beauty mark. That's pretty much it. Not that interesting. See? Fergus MacRoke is going to be a fucking F tier. Just hits on any women he could find. I'm okay with him hitting on Mabe, but I just don't want him hitting any of my wives. Gets a fucking F. Santa Altar is cute. I really like the black stockings, even though it's like covered in thigh-high boots. But the overall design and color scheme really fits her version as a Santa. Just goes around giving gifts and then throws out verbal abuse at you. Kind of fits her character. I'll give her a B. I'll give Nursery Rhyme a B tier for daughter. She is an adorable little girl that just wants to play. Has innocent traits like reading fairy tale books, eating sweets, and playing together. I know there wasn't much impact on her character, but I just overall find her as a sweet little girl that just wants to play, even though she's derived from a fictional world and not like a historical world, if you could call them that. Jack is gonna get an A tier since she's so adorable. Yes, she does have psychotic tendencies, and yes, her way of talking can be a bit graphical, if you could say, but deep down, she's just a girl that longs for her mother's love. Well, for mother, that would mean us. And it just makes me want to comfort her. Mordred is gonna be an A. I like her character a lot, and she's pretty badass too. Just sticks by her own rules, not caring what anybody says to her, and just get down to business by just cutting things down. I really do like the tomboyish vibe she's giving. Like if I was her friend, girlfriend, I would naturally just give her a fist bump. And yeah, there were some times I find her pretty hot too. Nikola Tesla. He doesn't stand out much, and his final ascension just looks so stupid. Him having a blue hair is so ridiculous that it looks like cotton candy. It's said that he's a 5-star, but he doesn't seem 5-star to me. All he does is scream lightning, and that he surpasses all lightning gods. And I never got him either. See, Lancer Autoria Alter. You know, I really like her design a lot, which made my eyes glued into her underboobs. But there's just not much character in her. All we get are simple dialogue lines from my room, and then just an interlude of what, just helping her fight some enemies or whatnot? There's literally nothing much going around her. I'll be giving her a B. I like the design, but I just wish there's so much personality in her. Besides the 2 big personalities she got going. Paracelsus von Hohenheim. Hohenheim? Is that how you pronounce? Well, whatever. There's a lot of things I want to say about this guy. Actually, no, I got nothing. Just some boring alchemist dude just theorizing on magic and whatnot. To which he is going to the C tier. Charles Babbage. When I first saw his appearance, I hardly believed that he was a servant. But looking at him right now, there he is. A steampunk robot. You know what? I'm gonna give this guy a B, since it was so unexpected. And the fact he cares for Frankenstein a lot. Like he's not just some heartless steampunk robot that just lets out steam and all. Henry Jekyll is an okay dude. Again, really not going around him. Just some plain guy with glasses. Even Mordred calls him Beansprout. I mean, he's alright, but I think I'll give him a B. Jekyll's altered self Hyde is going to be a C. Goes as a psychopathic murderer that screams all the time. That's it. Frankenstein is gonna get an A. I mean, saying a few words and whatnot, she really can be adorable at times. Just hearing her happy grunts a few times makes it so sweet. Okay, for the next one, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a spoiler, but if it is a spoiler, I'll put a warning on here. You can skip this segment. Solomon. I'm guessing this is the Gatia version. For final bosses, I think I'll give this guy a B. I mean, he has an interesting design, and suddenly reveals that he is the final boss. It made the plot interesting. I mean, it's like your typical final boss antagonist, and just goes against the values of humanity and all. He just wants to end human suffering. I mean, I get his reasoning. Not much interesting as his other form. Arjuna's alright. He has a cool design, but there's like not much of his character shown in FGO. I'm sure there are other people that featured his character and his qualities in some other sources of the game, but I mean, there's not much. But I'll give him a fair score of B, since he is like the half-brother of Karna and all. Karna is gonna get an A tier. He's just a very nice and chill dude that just wants to get along with others, but has trouble in conversation. Like, casually, he would just throw shades on other people, even though it's not intentional. But I find that as part of his charm. At first, when I looked at him, I honestly thought that he was a bad guy, but when you get to know him, he's actually a nice guy. And also that he can just go along with your antics. Mysterious Heroine X is okay. When you look at the design she's wearing right now, you can just instantly tell that she's gonna be the gag character. Because, you know, her sole purpose is to kill all sabers, especially her saber faces. Since there's like too many saber faces, she's like the anti-saber face. Despite having a saber face, and the fact that she's from another universe that is the Servant verse, which is like the Star Wars version. It's weird, but it's a pretty cool concept to me, since I love Star Wars. She even has her personality quirks of being a broke person, which I really find it funny. I'll give her a fair score of B. Fionn McCumhow is going to be a D. I don't even like this dude. I don't think anybody likes this dude. With all of his flirtatious antics, which was, not gonna lie, bit underwhelming and very uncomfortable. I mean, even though he had like a shine from that New Year's event story, oh, he wasn't pretty bad, and just brush it off. Nobody remembers it. Nobody cares about this guy. D. Brynhilde is gonna be a B. Very soothing, very melancholic voice. I wouldn't put her at a high tier, since she has like a deluded and long lost love for Sigurd. But luckily, hey, Sigurd's here. Her atmosphere changed, and now she became a more wholesome person now that Sigurd is with her side, even though she has a tendency to kill him. And honestly, I am really happy for those two together. Beowulf is going to be a B. He seems like a battle jockey that wants to fight all the time. I mean, for me personally, I don't hate battle addict characters. I really like them. It just gives off the impression of exhilaration that drives them to keep fighting. I like those kinds of character traits. But yeah, he is intimidating. He can be quite a decent guy despite being a berserker. It's just that he likes fighting all the time. That's pretty much it. Narrow Bride has an interesting design as a wedding dress. I think I'm gonna give her an A. Since her personality is so different than the OG Narrow, like this Narrow, she is like really intimate with you. Probably because of the wedding dress, maybe. Honestly, I really don't mind. There are some of the small dialogues which she is intimate with you, which I honestly find her very cute. I'm gonna give Void Shiki an A, since I like her design so much. Her second ascension is my personal favorite because of the tied hair, the kimono design, so artistic and so elegant. And also her personality is so different than her original self. She has a very gentle and embracing vibe from her, and a slight hint of affection. Also that she's connected to the root, which makes her OP, I think. Now we have OG Ryogi Shiki. You know, I'm also giving this one an A tier, because both Shikis are good. Both is good. With her tomboyish personality and her masculine way of speech, and she's such an interesting character. I don't think that the red leather jacket over her kimono is a weird style, but I like it. And also her ability to see death lines and just like easily cut the line with any object. That's such an OP ability. Kusashiro. When I look at this guy, my first instinct is that I want dropkick to his face. I mean, looking at him is just so obnoxious. His only sole purpose is the holy grail for human salvation. That's just like your typical generic plot when the guy was trying to do good things, but it leads to bad things. That kind of plot. And honestly, it's so boring. And I'm sure he would just stab you in the back for the sake of the Holy Grail. Probably my least favorite limited 5-star. And I don't even have him, and I don't even want him. He's going to be a C. At least he mentored Santa Lily. But just looking at him, it kind of feels like he would just use his dashing good looks to scam on innocent people. Astolfo is going to be a C tier. Really uncomfortable when he's trying to act so feminine. I know the gender is unknown, but I'm still calling him a dude. Yet he's still acts feminine and just wear feminine clothing. That's it. No further detail. Kid Gill is going to be a C. I know that he has an interesting character in Fake Caliad, but in FGO, not so much. Only hints that, spoilers, that he is aware of Mash's condition, in the FGO arc that is. But nothing else. Edmond Dantes is going to be an S tier. I really like his design a lot. I mean, sure, he does have an edgy personality in him, but it's not like the bad edgy kind. He's probably one of my favorite male 5-star character. Even when he fights for vengeance, at least he brought the drip to kill. Nightingale. I really like her character a lot, but I just can't get over from her design. It's like... it really needs a redraw. I do appreciate the animation update. They did her justice, but not the design. Just wish there could be a redraw for Nightingale, like the better version. Since she's a caring woman, she puts lives above all others. I mean, sure, her methods are extreme, but she just genuinely cares about the people's lives and that she wants to save them. Even if she had to, like, break their limbs apart or amputate them, I don't know. But she's a caring woman that wants to nurse you back to health through extreme means. And I respect that. Kukulin Alter. Just your typical altered, edgy Lancer. I mean, he's a chill dude. B. Queen Maeve. Possibly my least favorite 5-star of all. She just gather a bunch of men and make them as her slaves. Honestly, I do not like her personality. I do not like her design. I get that she's a queen, but as a queen, she gets a D for dozing dominatrix. Finally, coming to number 100, we got Elena Blavatsky. What a way to end this part with a B. I mean, she's not bad. Very intelligent girl. She acts like a grandma to Edison and Tesla, despite having a young appearance. But we don't worry about that. At least she's nice to hang around with. And she worships on Mahatmas. I don't know, it's like some sort of UFO of some kind. Don't know why she has a UFO as her NP, but she does. And alright, that's 50 of them in the second part. I've ranked the first 100, and maybe the next time I'll do the next 50. Out of the first 100, personal favorite, obviously, Skathahan. And I might rank on the next 50 servants if I got the time for it. So I hope you enjoy this. But this has been Nex-oz, and I wish you a good day.